Muncher.
Hey guys, welcome to Muncher Movies. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe so you can keep up with all of our Game of Thrones content. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so a simple click from you would go a long way in helping us out. So, after Game of Thrones delivered its most polarizing episode ever with The Long Night, D&D claimed that episode 4, 5, 6 would be sort of its own trilogy, separate from the first half. But I thought they would give us something more about the Night King, some discussion, some context. Anyway, more on that later. I expected this episode to be filler, and it definitely started out as filler, with the funeral, celebration, proposals, hookups, almost hookups, and generic soap opera drama. There were sappy moments, there were cringy moments, and to give credit where it's due, there were also some hints of old school, OG Game of Thrones, especially seeing Varys scheming and plotting like he used to. But the episode went off the rails pretty quickly, with its plot and pacing matching the rushed, illogical Hollywood epic that Game of Thrones has turned into lately. Let's get into the top 5 most WTF moments of this episode. There are things I found annoying, frustrating, or things that just made me yell at the screen. If I missed a moment or scene that would be on your WTF list, make sure you let me know in the comments. Number 1. Rhaegal's death. This was definitely a WTF moment, but the fact that Dany did not see Euron's fleet until Rhaegal gets hit pissed me off. Daenerys Stormborn, breaker of chains, first of her name, mother of dragons, blah blah blah, and misser of ships. Seriously, she was flying hundreds of feet in the air. Euron and his cronies somehow spot the dragon, are able to aim perfectly at a fast-moving object with this newly created weapon, and they go 3 for 3 with their spears. The Night King himself is 1 for 3 if you remember. And after that, when Dany emotionally charges at the Iron Fleet, they're like 0 for 20. Then she abandons her fleet, abandons Varys, Tyrion, Missandei, Grey Worm, and runs away like a wimp on a dragon. But the fact that she's blissfully unaware of the fleet until Rhaegal gets hit the first time, I can't even decide if that's convenient writing or just plain stupid writing. R.I.P. Rhaegal. I don't know how many ophthalmologists there are in Westeros, but before Dany goes around attacking King's Landing, she might want to get her eyes checked. Number 2. Bran's role in the episode. How many of you were hoping, just hoping against hope, that they would give us some details in this episode that recontextualized what we saw in The Long Night? What was Bran doing when he was warging until the Night King walked up to him? What does the death of the Night King even mean? Did Bran know what Arya was going to do? Well, if you were like me, one of those hopeful people, consider yourself stupider than a Winterfell maiden trying to turn a trick on the Hound. We got nothing. All we get is a dumb scene of him rolling backwards saying he lives in the past. Subtle, guys, very subtle. He's using his superpower to look 120 years into the past and build himself wheelchairs. Amazing. Also, how dumb is Tyrion? Didn't he have a chat with Bran before the Long Night and found out what Bran had gone through? Why does he still call Bran the Lord of Winterfell? Bran should be wearing an I'm not Bran t-shirt. Or you know what, maybe he can sketch in a third eye on his forehead and just be like, hey guys, I'm the three-eyed raven, not Bran. I'm just sick of hearing who Bran isn't. Number 3. Jon and Ghost. Pet owners all around the world must have shrieked with anger when they saw the long-distance goodbye that Jon gave Ghost. What, the CGI budget got finished killing Rhaegal, so having Jon touch Ghost was too difficult? Also, why would Jon send him with Tormund? Goodbye, Tormund. Oh, and by the way, you take care of my ferocious pet now. Just let Ghost be at Winterfell, where he was found. Also, why is Ghost even still alive? He was leading the charge with the Dothraki for some dumb reason. It would have actually been touching if Jon had to burn Ghost along with all the other people at the funeral. Whatever, nothing in this show makes sense anymore. Number 4. Jon telling Sansa. Ned Stark kept the secret of Jon's real parents for decades. He raised Jon as his own bastard, sacrificing his honor in the process. His daughter Sansa, and his successor at Winterfell by the way, could not keep the secret for even one scene. I get that Jon has a lot of honor, but is he so stupid to think that he will tell Sansa, who hates Daenerys, and there will be no consequences? She immediately tells Tyrion, knowing he will tell Varys, which is basically the Westeros equivalent of tweeting it. Sansa may not be a little bird anymore, but she is a little Littlefinger now. As Varys said, 8 people know now. Jon, Dany, Sansa, Arya, Bran, Sam, Tyrion, Varys, who knows who else. It's no longer a secret, it's information. Good job, Sansa, and great decision making, Jon. Number 5. Randomly distributed plot armor. In current Game of Thrones, real armor doesn't work anymore. It gets pierced by wood, while plot armor cannot be penetrated by multiple stabs, icy lakes, or hundreds of wights. We could make a whole video about this alone, but as it applied to episode 4, plot armor seemed to work very arbitrarily. Tyrion, Grey Worm and Varys managed to comfortably swim ashore after Euron makes short work of their fleet. Dany escapes multiple scorpion arrows aimed at her. Then Cersei decides to kill Missandei for some reason. Dany fast travels like everybody does on this show now to watch Missandei get killed with a handful of unsullied why? Tyrion decides to be bold and walk up to Cersei, and then Cersei doesn't kill him. Why? Didn't she pay Bronn to kill him? In fact, with all the weapons on the castle walls and the archers aimed at Daenerys and Tyrion and Grey Worm, she could have just killed all of them and just ended the war in that moment. But she doesn't. Why? Then Missandei bites it because she happened to run out of plot armor, and the show manages to subvert the foreshadowing of Grey Worm's death by killing Missandei instead, pissing Dany off and setting the stage for a battle in the next episode. R.I.P. Missandei, introduced in chains, died in chains. Well, that wraps up my list. Let us know your list and if I missed anything that was an even bigger WTF moment according to you. Don't miss all our other Game of Thrones videos, including live reactions from screenings at our offices, death wagers for each character, and more. Hit subscribe and the bell icon to keep up with all of it. Until next time.